Check this out, though. The VNI index in Vietnam is actually up a little bit, 0.1%. You can't tell from that chart, can you? You have to go, well, it's a kind of a backward-looking indicator, pretty much shrugging off all the taper turmoil. Late May, the government raised the country's economic outlook and outlined plans for a bad debt bank to help lift its troubled banking sector. Kevin Snowball is CEO at PXP Vietnam Asset Management, a boutique investment firm focusing solely on equity investment in Vietnam, and with us on Squawk Box today. Kevin, welcome to the program. Good to have you.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Last time we talked at any length about Vietnam, we came to the conclusion that the government's handling of the economy was a bit of a basket case, and they're having all kinds of problems. Inflation is an issue where it isn't in a lot of Southeast Asian nations. So why the case for investing in Vietnam?
Well, I think it's more a case of improvement in macro terms over the last 2 years or so. We've gone from inflation, which peaked at 23% back in August 2011, to a much more moderate level now at somewhere just above 6%. So although that sounds high in global terms, in terms of the way that Vietnam's CPI basket is constructed, it will always throw up a bigger number. So it's not as much of a concern as it would be, say, somewhere in the West.
Yeah. Where is the economy right now? I mean, have they put some of the tools in place to, to take the republic to better times, or do you feel the administration still is on a really steep learning curve still?
I think they've done, over the past 2 years, they've done very well, getting inflation under control, strengthening, or at least stabilizing the currency. And now they put the bad bank into place, which starts to come into effect next month. And so most things seem to be under control. The next thing we are expecting is a relaxation of foreign ownership limits in the stock market, which we think will be very positive. Mm-hmm. So I think they've done a very good job, and they continue to. Okay,
Kevin, let me bring in the guys from Singapore over there.
Good morning.
Hey, morning, Kevin. Morning, Kevin. Good to see you again. So, the pullback from risk off, out of equities, foreign money exiting, we know that already. As QE and QE fears continue, how badly affected is Vietnam going to be? How badly has it been affected already? Or is foreign participation there still pretty limited?
Yeah, I mean, year to date, we're still up around 20%. So the QE or the tapering hasn't really had a dramatic impact, but really because QE didn't have a particularly large impact on the way in. So because Vietnam has its foreign ownership limits, we've seen flows into and out of the two ETFs. But other than that, most of the funds that invest in Vietnam are dedicated Vietnam funds, or are, if they're coming in, for example, there's a very large consumer staples fund in the region. They own one stock in Vietnam. If they sell it, they're not going to be able to get it back. So that does, I suppose, persuade people that there's no need to rush out. And we saw on Friday with a rebalancing from one of the ETFs with some very large volume going through in the last 15 minutes that so domestic investors are prepared to stand and stand the other side of that trade, if you like. Yes.
Is it fair to say then that Vietnam has now emerged from the classic emerging market birth pangs, and we are seeing better economic management, better currency market management, and it's moving forward in the right direction on market liberalisation?
Absolutely. I'd agree with all of those things wholeheartedly.
So what, in terms of the construction of the way you approach the markets, is it a market balanced approach, or are there parts of the market that you prefer, that are preferred, parts of the market that you prefer to go lighter in, or is it a top-down kind of a play right now?
No, we're very much bottom up. So we're stock specific from the start. I mean, our biggest holding is Vinamilk, which is the largest company in Vietnam, but it's at the foreign ownership limit, it's head and shoulders, or at least head above the rest of the market in terms of its governance. But yeah, I mean, we're very much stock specific. I mean, we are underweight the financials, but we're overweight banks that we like, for example, but we don't own insurance companies and so on.
Okay, that's why you're an active investor. You got to go bottom up, not top down. Kevin, appreciate your time. Okay,
thanks very much.
Thanks for coming in. Kevin Snowball, PXP Vietnam Asset Management.